So, welcome to today's video. We are taking a look at this beautiful set from Paul Rubens. It comes in this very nice and super thick and sturdy box. It contains a set with 24 colors in a very special glittery box. This set you may get still some is on AliExpress. I will look if I can find some and put links in the description box below. It is a very old set, so the colors, how you are seeing them here, some are already changed in newer sets. Yeah, for example, the Payne's Gray looks completely different nowadays. So if you get a little swatch card, which I don't like because I don't like the size. And I don't like it if I can not see in which row which color is. So yeah, like I said, this is a very special glittery box. You can see the glitter, you have green glitter and glittery stars which are moving inside the box. This is the bigger set. You also get a smaller set which is around half the size. So the two different sizes, and we have three different colors. We have this green, there is one in a yellowy goldish color, and also one with pink glitter. We have this thin sheet where we can get the internal numbers at least and the pigment numbers. The rest is sadly on Chinese, but in that time from when this set is Paul Rubens haven't had any names in English offered in their sets. So all my sets from that time are mostly in Chinese. You can see you don't get a lot of paint. It is super thin. So similar to the shell set I did a video on, we'll put also a link in the description box below if you haven't seen the video and want to take a look at this other special edition set. So it is more a set you buy because you think it's beautiful and not so much because you get a lot of paint, because those special sets are definitely much more expensive than normal sets. So yeah, more a collector thing, I would say. So let's start with the swatching. Some of my information I have gotten from the information from the set itself, and also some I have taken from other websites, like for example Kimberly Crick's blog, which has also tested the light fastness of Paul Rubens colors from that time. So I have taken a look at the colors containing in the set, which were absolutely not light fast at the time. Like I said, the colors nowadays are sometimes different, so just so you be aware of the fact. So the first color is Permanent Lemon Yellow PY3, standard lemon yellow color. Then we have Cadmium Yellow Medium, and this is a genuine cadmium yellow. It's a PY35, so that's definitely a sign for us that those are artist grade paints, because cadmiums and cobalts, and we have more other colors also which contain cadmium or cobalt pigments. Those we don't find in student grade sets because the pigments are very expensive. So that is definitely a super light fast pigment. Then the next color is Indian Yellow. and that is a color which were not light fast on the light fastness tests from Kimberly Crick. It doesn't loses its color completely, but it does fade a little bit. It's PY83. As I have shown, the colors re-wet super easily, and you have tons of color on your brush, so pre-wetting the paints is absolutely not necessary. If you are pre-wetting paints which already are activated so easily, then most times you're using too much color and waste a lot of color as well. So that's the reason why I normally never pre-wet my paints, and I only do pre-wetting paints with glitter or metallic colors, or with sometimes with a little bit problematic pigments, like for example potter's pink or a true viridian. So this is one of the colors which I'm pretty sure is mislabeled, which was a common problem at the time this set was made, which happily for us now, Paul Rubens really had done a lot of improvement over the last years. So I haven't had that bad of a mislabeling in newer sets, because they labeled it as cadmium red light, and it doesn't look red at all. It's an orange color. So I'm not quite sure if the PR108, which is labeled here, is correct. It could also be that maybe I just have a set where they put the wrong color in it. I don't know. So if you have the set as well, I would love to hear how that color looks in your set. So the next color here is called Scarlet. It's a PR 123, which is perylene pigment, if I'm not mistaken. And it looks from the color very much like a quinacridone red. It's a very transparent cherry red color, also similar to a PR 188, which, for example, I think Schminke has as a vermilion light, when I'm not wrong. So absolutely beautiful color. Really, really love that. Then we have the next not light fast color, and that is Madder Red, which is a PR 177, which is always mislabeled in all brands as a light fast color, which definitely it is not. I sometimes get questions why companies mislabel some colors so badly, like this one. And I think the problem is that first problem is that normally light fastness tests are always done with colors in mess tone, which in watercolor we mostly never use, because mostly we dilute our colors with water, so they get a lot lighter. And also that the medium itself is a transparent medium, where all the other mediums are not. For example, acrylic color or an oil color is very opaque, and because of that, it is not so in danger of fading like a transparent medium like watercolors, for example. So next color is violet. It's a PV19. It's more a purple lilac-y version of a PV19. So we don't have a primary magenta in this set. which is a little bit of a negative point for me personally. Yeah. And the next color is called Permanent Violet, which is a PV 23, your standard um, dioxazine violet. With the PV 23, it is the same as with the PY3 with our first color. There is a light fast and a not so light fast version of the pigment. Sadly, you don't know which version the companies are using. So this is always when I not see other artists' light fastness tests with pictures, um, which I always handle carefully. I would not use those colors which when they aren't tested um, in artwork to hang up your wall also. Just to be aware of. Then the next color here is the cobalt blue, and here we are again with our more expensive pigments. This is a genuine cobalt blue, a PB 28, absolutely stunning, beautiful looking blue. This is definitely a color I love a lot and also I use a lot. So I'm always happy when it is included in sets. Then the next color is definitely 100% mislabeled because it says that it should be a PB29 ultramarine blue, but this color which is in the set is definitely not an ultramarine blue. It is, I would say, a phthalo blue, probably a PB15 column 3. So that's another thing. I'm not sure if it's just my set which has the wrong color in it, or if it's something that is in all of those sets. So again, if you have one of those glitterbox sets from Paul Rubens, I would really, really appreciate you letting me know if it's just my set or if it is in other sets as well. So just will have to put it a little bit higher so that you can see the lower row as well. Then we start with a color they call sky blue, which is also a cobalt pigment color. It is a PB36, so a darker version of a cerulean blue. And this one really, really granulates very, very much and very beautifully. Then the next color is called sea blue, but it is your standard PB15 column 3 cobalt blue. Don't know, it is phthalo blue, a phthalo blue green shade. And this looks very identical to me to the so-called ultramarine blue in the upper row. So that's also again confirmation for me personally that it is definitely this special shade of phthalo blue. Then our next color is Prussian blue, which is as well a pretty standard color. It's a PB27. Um, it's also a color which is like the PR 177, always mislabeled as perfect light fast, but it isn't light fast. So that you should definitely be aware of. Don't use it for artwork which you want to put on your wall. But it is a very beautiful dark blue, which I like very much, but I mostly use it in sketchbook works. I just learned, I think 1 or 2 days ago, that this color contains a cyanide, but it is bound to iron, which makes it non-toxic, which I, yeah, didn't know until I saw it in a video. Then our next color is Payne's Gray. This one is a mixture with PB15, Phthalo Blue, PB29, Ultramarine Blue, and PBK9, which is Ivory Black. And sadly, the set contains another black, not Ivory Black. So um, it is said that they have used this black in this color because this makes the whole set non-vegan. So for all vegans, this sadly contains a pigment made of burnt animal bones. And this is also a color, the Payne's Gray, when you are buying a modern Paul Rubens set, which looks completely different. This, at that time, it was very, very bluish, much more like an indigo blue than Payne's Gray. And that is something that they've changed, because in my newer set, it looks more grayish than bluish. So then we are coming to the greens. The first color is called yellow green, and it is a mix between PG 36, which is a phthalo green yellow shade, and PY 74. This is a type of cream I don't use normally. So it is also very easily made. We have a lemon yellow. We also have a phthalo green in this set. So if you are combining those two, it is easily made. So it is not a very necessary green, and I think most people don't use greens like that. So yeah. Then the next color is called tree green, and this is a very multi mix of 4 different pigments. We also have here the PG 36, sorry, which is the phthalo green yellow shade. Then we have the PY12, which I had to look up how it is with light fastness. So it is a 2 to 3. But the color isn't listed on Kimberly Crick's site, as far as I've seen, as not light fast, so it should be okay, I hope. PR 101, probably a transparent version of the red iron oxide, and a PW5. And then we have a very special color, which when I first got the set, I thought this is a mislabeling. But then I saw a video from Dennis Sodden about stone ground paints, and they also had a PG17 version which looked like that. Because normally a PG17 is your chromium green oxide, which is a very opaque, dull, grayish green color, which I don't like a lot. But this version is absolutely stunningly beautiful. They call it Hooker's Green Brilliant Light. And I would so love to have a tube out of that color, but sadly in Germany you can't buy Paul Rubens artist grade paints in tubes individually. So yeah, the access to Paul Rubens colors is very limited. So that's really a bummer for me. Then we have our standard emerald green PG7, which is, in my opinion, still a very underrated pigment. I know a lot of people don't like it because it looks too artificial, but it is a very good mixing base for more natural looking greens. If you combine it, for example, with a burnt sienna, especially the transparent red iron oxide versions, or a burnt umber, or different oranges, you can really get very beautiful, very natural looking greens very, very easily. So I personally like the color as a mixing color. I can't remember if I ever used it on its own, but I use it a lot for mixing. Also, you get a very beautiful purple when you are mixing it with magenta. So then we have a color they call lemon ochre, which is a pretty standard, I would say, yellow ochre color made from PY42, so your synthetic yellow iron oxide. Then we have a absolutely beautiful version of a PR101 of our synthetic red iron oxide Pozzoli red ochre. And that is also a color, if I would have access to uh, buy individual tubes, then that definitely would be one of those colors I would buy because it's a very beautiful shade of the red iron oxide pigment, which is very different from your standard English or Venetian reds. It's more transparent and the shade of the red is different. Then the next two colors are definitely mislabeled as well. They are, I would say, switched because the first color they call amber, which looks more like your standard burnt sienna. It is a mixture between PBR7 and PR101. I would say the transparent version again because the color looks very transparent to me. And the next color they call burnt sienna, but it looks more like a burnt umber. So that is definitely just the names are switched. This is a single pigment PBR7 version. So that was the point where I realized I definitely hadn't enough boxes for all the colors. So yeah, I put the last two colors on a little piece of watercolor paper. So the first color we have here, they call burnt brown. It's also a PBR7, and it is a much darker version. I would say from its color, it reminds me a lot of a Van Dyke brown, for example. And our last of the 24 colors is called coal black, which is a PBK7, so definitely a carbon-based black. So name's definitely fitting. So I will show you a close-up from all the colors when with the dried swatches now. And I have included all the names and the pigment information as well. Here you can see the beautiful granulation of the sky blue. So yeah, that were all the colors. I hope this video was interesting. I would really, really love to know if you have the set, the smaller or the bigger one, or in green or in yellow or in pink. How do you like it? Or would you interested to buy a set like this? With the knowledge after the video? Yeah, would love to hear that from you. Um, I am, as always, super, super grateful for a follow or a thumbs up because it really helps the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon in another video. Bye bye.